Hi, welcome to today's episode. My name is Judith Adams, and on today's episode we are going to be talking about few things that we need to critically examine before embarking on. Things that we cannot take back. Once we decide to do them, it sticks with us forever. Now, I want to apologize for ghosting you for a few days. I needed a time off. Having a full-time job, being a mother, all that. I'm not here to bring you my problems, but hey, bear with me. Well, thank you for coming back here. My name is Judith Adams, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that down below. So on today's episode, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking about a few things that you really need to critically examine before embarking on. And the first thing I want to make mention of is marriage and relationships and friendships too as well. Marriage is very, very important. Well, to some cultures, people actually examine marriage as success. Yes, from the culture I come from, once you turn 30 and you're still not bringing a man in the home, it's trouble. Where is he at? Your standards, I think the bar you've set, it's just too high, so lower it, you might be able to get someone. Yes, these are some of the things. I am from an African home, so these are the few things you would hear people mentioning to you to do just so that you would meet a guy. So they do measure success with marriage. Yes. So marriage is very, very critical. Not critical, very important, and is a very big milestone in our lives when we're getting married. But most often, some of us just get into marriages and relationships just because other people are going into it. We really do not think about it, the end result, whether we really want to be with this person, whether this person, we would like the person 10, 20 years, probably eternity to come. You're going to spend the rest of your life with this person and you still don't know anything about the person. Just because you want to excuse me, just because you want to get out of your dad and your mom's hair, you would say yes to anything just to get married and get out there. No, you need to critically examine it. You need to question yourself. You need to ask yourself, do I really want this? Is this for me? Am I willing to spend the rest of my life with this person? How forgiving am I? Can I even tolerate this person? Have you even slept by this person to know whether you like them when they snore? Have you seen them without their makeup? Have you seen them without all the polishing they do on themselves? These are things you have to critically examine yourself on when you are getting married. Do not rush it. Yes, all these people on the social media, they do not post their failures, all the relationships they've been through. They do not tell us everything. They just post the wins, and that is the end result, the win, the wedding pictures, and you want to get married. But critically examine these things before you get into them. Examine your life, what you truly want, before you get into marriage. The other point I want to mention is having a child. You cannot reverse it. Your body changes, everything of yours, your routine. I think the biggest toll on women is not really financial, but is the body change. You are not gonna look the same. I know the snapbacks on the internet is not like that. Sweetie, it's not. Yeah, I'm just being honest here. It's not. Your body change. You might develop stretch marks. There might be burns and other stuff. You might even have a scar from a cesarean session that you got whilst giving birth. So these are marks. Are you ready to accommodate them? Are you going to be happy? Do you have a supportive partner? Do you have a supportive family? If you're doing it alone, do you have a supportive family? Is this what the person wants? Does the person even know that you're carrying their seed? Have they agreed to co-parent with you? You have to think about this, because this is not just about you, sweetie. This is also about another human being you bring in onto this world who is going to be so affected by it. So critically examine this. Just because someone is having a child over the internet doesn't mean that you should also have a child. And yeah, now I'm drinking my tea. Okay, so the next point I want to mention, whether you're moving out of the country, you're moving just to the next area from your family, you're moving to a different town, you really need to critically examine yourself, your surrounding, before you move. And in this, you have to really examine your finances. Your finances are very important. Where you're going to live, are you secured where you're going? How are you living home? Are you still in good terms with family whilst you're living, or you just want to get out of mom and dad's hair? So because of that, you're doing all you have to do. Like it's a ride or die situation of just having the freedom. All these things comes with freedom, but don't forget this. Some freedoms are not necessary. It's just a discipline. Freedom and discipline works hand in hand. If you need a good use of your freedom, you have to have discipline. Anyway, yes. So you have to critically examine this. Can you do it by yourself? Do you have the necessary means, the finances to be able to take care of yourself? Where you are going to live, is it secured? Is it safe to live there? Is dad and mom okay? And sometimes we don't really need their okay to do this, but we have to live on a good note. You don't have to fight the whole world, your family, everyone, just to get out. Do not leave on a bad note, because you will need them. There are going to be times you're going to need money, or you have to come back and start there. I am not saying if you want to move out, do not. Mind you, all I am saying is that be well prepared. Examine this thoroughly before moving out. So your finances, the security, whether you are in good place with family or whoever you were before leaving, always leave on a good note. You do not have to have all these fights before you leave. And if you live into a different country, you have to make sure that you can get back at any time. And that means a return ticket, your visas, everything before you leave. Another thing that I want to talk about that is very important that you have to critically examine is when you are quitting or leaving a job. When you're leaving a job, if you don't need them for anything, there's a day you're going to need them for references. There's going to be a day you might want to come back to that same job. And I usually advise that don't quit jobs. Switch jobs. And you're not just switching. You are going to resign. You turn in your resignation peacefully. They'll give you 2 weeks or whatever period you need to go away, and then you take it. You leave a working contact on how they might later on contact you. This could be promotion. Probably you left because you didn't like the job, and there's something greater now that fits you or suits you that they need to call you for, and they can call you. There might be something they need to get in touch with you for, any bigger opportunity. So leave on a good note when you are quitting a job. Do not quit switch jobs. Also, you would have to save some amount of money, and I'm advised that 3 paychecks before you leave a job so that you are secure, so that you would have enough money to take care of your bills whilst you are job hunting, even if you are not switching. But the best advice of it all is that always leave on a good note and find a job before you quit your job. And this brings us to the next point. With the freedom thing, everyone wants to be on their own. Everyone wants to have a spouse, live with a boyfriend, a girlfriend. The moving thing, everyone wants to have their spouses visit them when they want to. I am not saying that it is a bad thing to do. All I am saying is that you do not need to move out if you are not ready. If it's time that you want, you can be able to make yourself comfortable even in your parents' home. You can be able to make yourself comfortable in your parents' home. You just have to be responsible enough to help with the other bills, pay the bills. When you are living in your parents' home or anywhere that is rent-free, you are given an opportunity to save much before leaving. So don't forget that. That is an opportunity for you to get yourself together before going. Another thing I want to mention is a big purchase. Oh, this is critical. Day in and out, we hear of people going bankrupt. We hear of people losing money. We hear of people going broke. And we hear of people in huge debts in America, I'm told. And I heard someone say the last time that it's usually the "I deserve this" mindset that get people so broke. You deserve it doesn't mean that you should purchase it because you don't have the cash for it. So bigger purchases are also another thing you have to critically examine, whether you have the money, whether it's the right thing to do, whether you could invest the money into something else, whether you really need it or not. And this is when you have to have priorities. You have to range from your needs and your wants and your future needs and everything before making a purchase. Your needs and wants. You draw a scale. Do I really need it? Is it a want? Will the money go onto a good cause? Or I just need to buy this. You need to examine all this before making a big purchase. And I cannot say this enough. Please, people do not post their failures on the internet. People do not post their loss on the internet. We all see the wins, and they have gone through a lot and through hell and back just to win or earn certain things in their life. So we cannot do comparisons. We cannot want to live like just how someone else is living. And how sure are you? It's just the internet. How sure are you that they are actually living their best life? People fake it so well lately that you wouldn't be able to tell. They have so many lives they are living, one on the internet and one a true life. So you really have to look at this. Who posts their failures? No one. You're right. No one posts their failures. So you have to critically examine yourself. I'm not saying do not have role models or people you look up to or have bigger goals. All I am saying is be realistic. Being realistic these days saves so much. Well, yeah, I saw someone use a bottle of Coke to wash a stain from a white shirt. Does that really work? Seeing it on the internet doesn't mean that it's reality or it's working. So we need to differentiate between reality and that of the social media. It is not life out there. And most people out there are actually even not real. They're not real people. Robots, robotic accounts, and other people posing as different people on the account. It's the safest place people can pretend. So we don't have to go out there looking at whatever someone else is doing or the wins of someone else. Be you. You are winning. If there's anything you know, it's yourself. Because someone else is somewhere else that you do not know. You probably just know their name, which might not even be their name. So these are just a few things I wanted to tell you to quickly examine before you do. You do not need to move out if you're not ready. You do not need to get married if you are not ready. You do not need to have a child if you are not ready, because these are lifelong attachments that we're going to have on ourselves, and whether we like it or not, it comes with our shadow that we cannot shake off later on. So please be careful when you're making this decision. Think about them thoroughly, carefully examine them, look up to your options, and make great decisions for yourself. There's success, and yes, our success begins the moment we wake up till the end of the day, and the choices in which we make constitute to the greater being of ourselves. So let's make sure we make good ones. And when we are making the bigger ones, let's think critically. Let's critically examine this. And I encourage critical thinking in every decision that you make. Yes, I am called an overthinker because I will overthink on something. But I like it because at the end of the day, I end up making the smartest decisions of all. So yes, these are the few things I wanted to talk about. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that down below. And share this video to your nephews, your nieces, your brother, your sister, everyone. I really appreciate your support, and like this video. This really helps YouTube to push my video out there for others to enjoy. And even if I touch one life, it's a goal for me, and that's why I am here. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Judith Adams, and it's lovely having you here. Thank you. Mwah.